The door slammed shut behind me as I stumbled into the house, my heart pounding from the argument I just had with my boyfriend, Alex. But nothing prepared me for the sight in the living room. My father, the pillar of our conservative Midwestern family, locked in a passionate embrace with Alex, their lips pressed together in a betrayal that hit me like a freight train. In that frozen moment, the world I knew shattered, forcing me to question everything from my own identity to the facade of our perfect American dream. I stood there, invisible in the shadows of the hallway, my backpack slipping from my shoulder to the floor with a thud that finally broke their trance. Dad pulled away first, his face draining of color, eyes wide with the kind of panic I'd never seen in the man who raised me on Bible verses and football games. Alex, my Alex, the guy I'd been secretly dating for 6 months, stammered something incoherent, his hand still lingering on Dad's shirt as if he couldn't let go. "What the hell is this?" I managed to choke out, my voice cracking like glass under pressure. The room spun, the familiar plaid couch and family photos on the wall mocking me with their normalcy. Dad, Thomas Reynolds, the respected accountant at the local firm in our small Ohio town, straightened his tie, trying to reclaim some dignity. "Ethan, son, this isn't what it looks like," he said, but his words hung hollow in the air. Alex stepped forward, his dark eyes pleading. "Ethan, please let me explain. It just happened." Happened? As if discovering your father and your boyfriend in a clinch was some minor mishap. I backed away, the betrayal slicing deeper with every breath. How long had this been going on? Right under my nose, in the house where Mom cooked dinners and we pretended to be the ideal family. I fled to my room upstairs, slamming the door so hard the frame rattled. Locking it, I sank to the floor, tears burning my eyes. At 22, fresh out of community college and working part-time at the hardware store, I'd thought coming out to Alex was my biggest risk. We'd met at a LGBTQ support group in Columbus, an hour's drive away, where I could hide from the judgmental eyes of our town. Alex was everything I wasn't. Confident, out and proud, with a laugh that made my chest tighten. But now that laugh echoed in my mind as a lie. Dad knocked softly later that evening. "Ethan, we need to talk." His voice was steady, but I could hear the tremor beneath. I didn't respond. Mom was at her book club, oblivious as always, and I wondered if she'd ever suspected Dad's secrets. Growing up, he'd been the enforcer of rules. No dating until college, church every Sunday, and subtle digs at those people on the news. Yet here he was, entangled with my boyfriend. The next morning, I avoided breakfast, grabbing coffee on my way to work. The hardware store was a refuge, shelves of nails and tools offering a mindless distraction. But my mind raced. Was Dad gay? Bisexual? Had he been living a double life all these years? And Alex, why him? Was I just a stepping stone? At lunch, Alex texted, "Meet me after work? We have to talk." I ignored it, but curiosity gnawed at me. By closing time, I found myself driving to the park where we'd shared our first kiss. He was waiting on the bench, looking wrecked, his usual swagger gone. "Ethan, I'm so sorry," he started, but I cut him off. "How long?" I demanded, my fists clenched. "A month," he admitted, staring at the ground. "It started after that barbecue at your house. Your dad." He approached me, said he was struggling with his feelings. I thought I was helping him. Helping him? By cheating on me? My voice rose, drawing stares from joggers. Alex reached for my hand, but I yanked away. "It's complicated, Ethan. Your dad's been repressed his whole life. He told me about his youth, the pressure from his family. I felt bad for him." I laughed bitterly. "And what about me? I've been hiding too, scared of what Dad would say if he knew about us. Turns out, he's the one with the bigger secret." We argued in circles, the sun dipping low. Alex swore it was over, that he loved me, but doubt seated deep. Driving home, I pondered the irony. The man who'd preached morality was the hypocrite. That night, Mom noticed the tension at dinner. "What's going on with you two?" she asked, serving meatloaf. Dad glanced at me, a silent plea. I swallowed hard. "Nothing, Mom. just work stuff. But lies have a way of festering. As I lay in bed, the house quiet, I realized this was only the beginning. The confrontation loomed, and with it, the unraveling of our family. The days blurred into a haze of avoidance. At work, I hammered nails with unnecessary force, imagining each strike as a blow to the betrayal. Dad left early for the office. Mom hummed obliviously in the kitchen. Alex's calls went unanswered, his pleas stacking up in my voicemail. One evening, I couldn't take it anymore. I cornered Dad in his study, surrounded by tax forms and family mementos. "We need to talk," I said, echoing his words from before. He sighed, setting down his pen. "I knew this was coming. Ethan, I've made mistakes." "Mistakes? You kissed my boyfriend," I hissed, keeping my voice low for Mom's sake. "It wasn't just a kiss," he confessed, his face crumpling. "I've been confused for years. Your mother and we married young, right out of high school. It was expected, but I've always felt different. Different. The word I'd used to describe myself since puberty. "So you're gay?" I asked, the question hanging heavy. He hesitated. "I don't know. Bisexual, maybe, but I've suppressed it. For the family, for the church, for this town." The town. Elmwood, Ohio, population 5,000, where rainbow flags were as rare as snow in July. Church potlucks and Friday night football defined us. Coming out here meant whispers, lost jobs, fractured families. "Why Alex?" I pressed. He reminded me of myself at that age. Brave, open. I envied that, and then it crossed a line. Envy turned to action, and now we were paying the price. "What about Mom? Does she know?" "No," he said firmly. "And she can't. It would destroy her." So the plan was silence? Bury it like everything else? Anger surged. "You can't just decide that. This affects all of us." He looked at me, eyes pleading. "Ethan, please, give me time to figure this out." Time. As if it could mend the rift. I stormed out, driving aimlessly until I ended up at the support group in Columbus. The circle of chairs, the shared stories, grounded me. A guy named Mark shared about his family's rejection. "It hurts, but living truthfully is worth it," he said. Was it? Back home, the weight of secrets pressed down. I had to choose. Confront or conceal. The choice gnawed at me like a persistent ache. Concealment felt like cowardice, but confrontation risked everything. That weekend, Mom planned a family outing to the lake, her attempt to bring us together. Dad and I exchanged tense glances in the car, the radio's cheerful tunes mocking our silence. At the lake, kids splashed in the water, families picnicked under oaks. Mom spread out sandwiches, chattering about neighborhood gossip. "Mrs. Jenkins says her son's getting married. Such a nice boy." Her words stung, a reminder of expectations. Dad wandered off to fish, rod in hand. I followed, the gravel crunching underfoot. "We can't keep pretending," I said. He cast his line, watching it arc. "What do you want me to do, Ethan? Blow up our lives?" "Maybe it's already blown," I retorted. "Alex wants to talk to you too." Dad's jaw tightened. "Tell him it's over. It was a mistake." But mistakes have consequences. Back at the picnic, Mom noticed our moods. "You boys are acting strange. Is there something I should know?" Dad forced a smile. "Just guy talk, honey." I bit my tongue, but the lie tasted bitter. That night, I met Alex at a diner outside town. He looked haggard, circles under his eyes. "Your dad won't respond to my texts," he said. "Good," I snapped. "What did you expect?" "I didn't plan this, Ethan. Your dad, he's in pain, hiding who he is. And you're the therapist?" Sarcasm dripped from my words. Alex leaned in. "No, but I understand. I came out in high school, lost friends. Your dad never had that chance." Sympathy flickered, but betrayal overshadowed it. "You cheated on me. With my father." He winced. "I know. I was weak. But I love you." Love. The word felt tainted. We parted without resolution, the diner's neon sign flickering like my resolve. Monday brought a curveball. At work, my boss, Mr. Harlan, a grizzled veteran with conservative views, pulled me aside. "Heard some rumors about you, son. Hanging with that crowd in Columbus." My stomach dropped. "What crowd?" "You know, the gays." He said it like a dirty word. "This town's small. Word gets around." "Who talked? Alex?" "No, he wouldn't." But paranoia set in. That evening I confronted Dad again. "Someone knows about me. Is it because of you?" He denied it, but doubt lingered. Mom, sensing the rift, suggested family counseling at church. "Pastor Mike can help." Church, where homosexuality was a sin. The irony burned. Weeks passed in uneasy truce. I avoided Alex, focused on work. But secrets breed isolation. One night, unable to sleep, I scrolled through old photos. Family vacations? Dad teaching me to ride a bike. Was it all a lie? Then the bomb dropped. Mom found a text on Dad's phone. From Alex. "We need to talk about us." She confronted him in the kitchen, her voice rising. I eavesdropped from the stairs, heart hammering. "Thomas, who's Alex? And what us?" Dad stammered. "It's a work thing. Don't lie to me." She threw the phone, shattering the screen. The argument escalated, doors slamming. I intervened, descending the stairs. "Mom, sit down." She whirled on me. "You know something?" The moment of truth. "Dad, he's been seeing Alex." Her face crumpled. "Seeing? As in?" "Yes," Dad whispered.
"I'm sorry, Linda."
She collapsed into a chair, sobs racking her. "How long? And who is Alex?" "My boyfriend," I said, the words tumbling out. Or was. The room fell silent, shock waves rippling. Mom stared between us. "Your boyfriend? Ethan, you're gay," I confirmed, the admission liberating yet terrifying. She covered her mouth, tears streaming. Dad reached for her, but she recoiled. "Both of you? In my house?" The pain in her voice cut deep. That night, she slept on the couch. The house divided. Morning brought awkwardness. Mom avoided eye contact, making coffee with trembling hands. "I need time," she said. Dad nodded, guilt etched on his face. I escaped to work, but rumors had spread. Coworkers whispered, customers stared. Mr. Harlan called me in. "This ain't the place for your lifestyle. Clean out your locker." Fired. For being gay. In 2026 America, it still happened in small towns. Rage boiled. I drove to Columbus, crashing at the support group leader's couch. Mark listened as I poured out the story. "That's heavy," he said. "But you're not alone." Alone felt accurate. Family fractured, job lost, relationship ruined. What next? I returned home days later, finding Mom packing a suitcase. "I'm going to my sister's," she said. "I can't stay here." Dad pleaded. "Linda, please. We can work through this." "Work through? You cheated with our son's boyfriend." Her words lashed like whips. I tried mediating. "Mom, it's complicated. Dad's been hiding." "Don't defend him," she snapped. "And you? Why didn't you tell me?" "Fear," I admitted. "Of this." She hugged me briefly, then left, the door closing with finality. Dad and I sat in the empty house, the silence deafening. "This is my fault," he said. "Yes," I agreed. But we both hid. The path forward unclear, tensions simmered. Alex called, offering support, but trust was shattered. As high noon approached in our drama, choices loomed. Rebuild or abandon. The house felt like a ghost town without Mom. Dad shuffled around like a shadow, burying himself in work. I job hunted in Columbus, crashing with Mark when needed. The support group became my lifeline, stories of rejection mirroring mine. One session, a woman shared about her husband's coming out. It ended our marriage, but freed us both. Freed. Was that possible? Back home, Dad initiated a talk. "Ethan, I want to make this right." "How?" I asked, skeptical. "Therapy. Real therapy, not church." Surprising. We found a counselor in the city, Dr. Ellis, specializing in LGBTQ issues. First session, awkward silences punctuated revelations. Dad admitted his youth. Crushes on boys ignored, marriage as escape. I love your mom, but not fully. I shared my fears. Town's judgment, family's collapse. Dr. Ellis probed. What do you want? Honesty, perhaps, but mom's absence loomed. She called sporadically, voice strained. How are you? Hanging in, I said. Miss you. I miss the family we were, she replied, hinting at irreparability. Alex persisted, showing up at my doorstep. I ended it with your dad. For good. Too late, I said, but let him in. We talked hours, dissecting the affair. I was flattered, he confessed. Your dad idolized my freedom. And I was what? Collateral?
No.
You were real. He kissed my forehead, but I pulled away, wounds fresh. Rumors escalated in town. Church friends shunned Dad. Clients dropped him. Hypocrite, they whispered. One day, Pastor Mike visited. Thomas, the congregation is concerned. Dad stood firm. My personal life is private. But sin is judgment. Dad interrupted, closing the door. Pride flickered in me. Change? Mom returned for belongings, tension thick. I'm filing for divorce, she announced. Dad paled. Linda, please. You destroyed us, she said, eyes on me. And Ethan, I love you, but it's hard. Hard. Understatement. She left again. Divorce papers served days later. Court loomed, but first, personal battles. I landed a job in Columbus, barista at a queer-friendly cafe. Freedom tasted sweet, but guilt lingered. Alex and I tentatively reconciled, dates cautious. Trust rebuilt slowly. Dad dated discreetly, a man from online. It's new, he shared. Jealousy? No, understanding. High drama peaked at the divorce hearing. Mom testified calmly, Dad remorseful. Judge granted it, assets split. After Mom hugged me, I'm trying to understand. Trying is enough, I said, but society pushed back. A local paper ran a story. Local accountant's secret life tears family apart. Anonymized, but everyone knew. Vandals keyed Dad's car. Slurs painted. Fear gripped us. We should move, Dad suggested. To where? I asked. Columbus. Start over. Tempting. But roots ran deep. Alex encouraged. You deserve better. Decision time. I chose Columbus, apartment hunting with Alex. Dad followed, selling the house. Mom stayed, rebuilding alone. New life. Dad in therapy, dating openly. I with Alex, stronger. But scars remained. At a pride event, Dad marched, flag in hand. Emotional. Yet, questions lingered. Was betrayal inevitable? Could honesty have prevented pain? As we navigated, awakening dawned. Let me adjust. The empty house amplified every creak, every sigh. Dad's attempts at normalcy, cooking dinners, watching games, felt forced. I spent more time in Columbus. The city's buzz a balm to my frayed nerves. At the support group, Mark became a friend, his story of disownment resonating. Family isn't always blood, he said. Sometimes it's chosen. Chosen. Alex wanted to be that. His apologies evolved into actions. Helping with job apps, listening without defense. One night, over pizza, he said, I betrayed you because I was lost too. Helping your dad felt like redeeming my past. By hurting me? Yes. And I'll regret it forever.
Forgiveness Buded, tentative.
Dad's transformation surprised. He read books on sexuality, attended meetings. I was wrong, he admitted. About everything. Mom's calls grew warmer, curiosity replacing anger. Tell me about Alex, she asked once. He's kind, flawed, I said. Like us all. The divorce proceeded, amicable but sorrowful. In court, emotions raw. Post-hearing, Mom said, I still love your dad, but can't be with him. Understanding nodded. Town backlash intensified. Dad's business suffered, forcing closure. Time to go, he decided. We moved to Columbus, fresh start. Dad found accounting work, I thrived at the cafe. Alex and I cohabited, relationship deepening. Dad met Robert, a teacher, steady. At a family dinner, Mom visited, tensions eased. Laughter returned. But society lingered. A hate crime nearby reminded vulnerability. Awakening, living authentically, despite costs. The weeks following Mom's departure were a blur of solitude and self-reflection. Dad and I navigated the house like strangers, polite conversations masking the underlying turmoil. He threw himself into work, staying late at the office, while I spent my days scouring job listings online, the sting of my firing still fresh. In Columbus, the support group provided a sanctuary. Sharing my story for the first time, the words poured out. The discovery, the betrayal, the fallout. Listeners nodded, offering hugs and advice. It's not your fault, one said. Repression breeds desperation. Desperation. That explained Dad's actions, but didn't excuse them. Alex's persistence wore me down. We met at neutral grounds, a park, a coffee shop, dissecting the affair. Your dad was my mirror, he confessed. Trapped, seeking escape. And I was the casualty. Yes, and I'm sorry. Slowly, we rebuilt, dates turning from awkward to affectionate. Dad surprised me by suggesting therapy. Dr. Ellis's office was a neutral zone, where truths emerged. Dad spoke of his conservative upbringing, the fear of damnation. I married to fit in. I shared my hidden life, the constant vigilance. Progress was incremental but real. Mom's return for her things was charged. Divorce is the only way, she said. Dad begged, but she was resolute. The hearing was clinical, but emotions boiled beneath. Granted, we emerged changed. Town gossip peaked with the article fueling harassment. Dad's car vandalized, calls at night. We can't stay, Dad said. Columbus beckoned. Packing, we left memories behind. New beginnings. Jobs, relationships, acceptance. Dad with Robert, I with Alex, Mom visiting. Pride parade. Dad's first, tears in eyes. Food for thought. The price of truth. Settling into Columbus was like breathing fresh air after years of suffocation. The apartment I shared with Alex was small but ours, filled with plants and books. A far cry from Elmwood's stifling norms. Dad found a condo nearby, his new job at a progressive firm a welcome change. But echoes of the past lingered. Mom's visits were tentative, conversations skirting sensitive topics. I'm seeing a therapist too, she shared one dinner. To process the betrayal, the revelations. I'm proud of you, I said. She smiled faintly. It's hard, but necessary. Dad's relationship with Robert blossomed. The two attending events together. Seeing Dad hold hands publicly was surreal, a man reborn. Yet conflicts arose. Alex and Dad's interactions were awkward. Apologies exchanged, but tension underlying. One evening, at a group dinner, old wounds surfaced. How could you? Mom asked Dad, wine loosening tongues. I was lost, he replied. And you dragged Ethan into it, she accused. I didn't know, Dad defended. Alex interjected. It was my fault too. The table fell silent, the weight of shared blame heavy. I steered the conversation. We're here now, moving forward. Forward meant confronting society. At work, I was open, colleagues accepting. But news of hate bills in other states reminded us of fragility. A crisis hit when Alex's family learned of the affair. His parents, liberal but protective, disowned him temporarily. You messed with a family, his dad said. Alex crumbled, leaning on me. Roles reversed, I supported him. Dad offered advice. Time heals. Irony. The betrayer advising the betrayed. As months passed, bonds strengthened. Mom dated a kind widower from church. He's accepting, she said. Accepting of us? Progress. High tension came with a town reunion. Invited to a high school friend's wedding in Elmwood, I hesitated. Go, Alex urged. Show them you're thriving. Dad agreed. Face the past. We went heads high. Whispers followed, but friends hugged. Mr. Harlan avoided me. At the reception, a drunk uncle confronted. You queers ruined a good man. Dad stepped in. That man is me, and I'm better now. Pride swelled. Back in Columbus, reflection deepened. The choices, hiding versus revealing, had costs. Lost jobs, broken marriage, strained ties. But gains, authenticity, love, growth. Alex proposed one night, ring simple. Despite everything, yes? Yes. Wedding planning, inclusive. Mom walked me, Dad best man. Vows exchanged, tears flowed. Yet doubts. Was the pain worth it? As life stabilized, awakening complete. Columbus embraced us with open arms. Its diverse neighborhoods a stark contrast to Elmwood's homogeneity. My barista job turned into management. Alex pursued graphic design. Dad's condo became a hub for dinners. Robert's cooking legendary. Mom's visits increased, her therapist helping unpack decades of unspoken truths. I blamed myself, she confessed, for not seeing. No one did, I reassured. Dad and Robert's relationship provided a model. Open, supportive. Seeing Dad laugh freely was healing. But friction with Alex and Dad persisted. A therapy session addressed it. Trust is earned, Dr. Ellis said. Apologies deepened. Understanding grew. Alex's family crisis tested us. His parents call. How could you? He explained, but they cut contact. Nights of tears. Me holding him. Dad visited. I know regret. Give them time. Time worked. Reconciliation came. Societal pressures mounted with news. Anti-LGBTQ legislation. We marched, voices raised. Personal climax. The wedding invitation. Returning to Elmwood, nerves taut. Arrival, stares but warmth from some. Confrontation at reception. Slurs thrown. Dad's defense. We're family, flaws and all. Empowering. Post-trip, Alex proposed under stars. Through chaos, I choose you. Acceptance. Planning. Small ceremony, all invited. Vows. Promises of honesty. Honeymoon, then normalcy. Reflection. Decisions, prices paid, but rewards reaped. Was repression better? No. The wedding was a quiet affair in a Columbus park, cherry blossoms framing our vows. Mom beamed. Dad teared up. Robert clapped enthusiastically. Alex's parents attended, thawed by time. I do, we said. Rings exchanged, a new chapter sealed. Life post-wedding hummed with routine, work, friends, therapy. Dad and Robert traveled. Mom's new relationship flourished. Family gatherings became regular, laughter outweighing awkwardness. But scars reminded us. A call from Elmwood. Old friends struggling with identity, seeking advice. Be true, I said, but brace for impact. Impact. Our story rippled, inspiring some, alienating others. One day, Dad shared a letter from Pastor Mike. I've been wrong. Let's talk. Talk led to change. Church inclusivity efforts. Personal growth continued. Alex and I adopted a dog, symbolizing commitment. Mom confided, I'm happy for you all. Happiness, hard won. Yet, musing on the journey. The shock, betrayals, confrontations. The internal conflicts. Dad's repression, my fear, Alex's weakness. Led to moral quandaries. Was cheating forgivable? Hiding ethical? Society's role. Pressures forcing lies. Awakenings. Living openly, despite costs. As sun set on our lives, questions remained. In the end, was coming out the right choice, or did the pain outweigh the freedom? The ceremony unfolded under a canopy of blooming trees, the air sweet with spring. Guests, friends from the support group, colleagues, family witnessed our union. Mom, elegant in blue, walked me down the aisle. Dad stood beside Alex, his role as best man a testament to forgiveness. Vows were heartfelt. Through betrayal and healing, I choose you daily. Rings slid on, kisses sealed, cheers erupted. Reception, toasts, dances, Dad's speech. I caused pain, but seeing this joy, worth it. Mom echoed, love wins. Alex's parents, reconciled, hugged us. We're proud. Honeymoon in the mountains. Hikes, talks, intimacy without shadows. Return to life. Alex's design sold, my cafe thrived. We volunteered at LGBTQ centers, paying forward. Dad and Robert's European trip photos filled chats. Living fully, Dad captioned. Mom's beau, John, joined dinners, accepting. A ripple. An Elmwood youth emailed, inspired by our story. How to come out. Advice. With support. It's tough, but liberating. Toughness revisited when a bill threatened rights. We advocated, petitions signed. Personal. Alex and I discussed kids, future bright. Reflection nights. The initial shock, walking in on them, sparked chaos. Dad's double life, my secrecy, Alex's lapse.
Moral de lemes. Vergibnis sube esse gralles?
Truth versus peace. Society's biases amplified pain. But transformations. Dad's openness, Mom's acceptance, my resilience. Costs. Divorce, job loss, isolation. Gains. Authenticity, love, community. The narrative arc. From destruction to reconstruction. As we gathered for holidays, bonds stronger. Yet, the core query lingers, sparking debate. In a world of prejudice, is the pursuit of personal truth always justified? Or can the collateral damage to loved ones make silence the moral choice?